Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching The Last King of Scotland by Kevin MacDonald, starring Forrest Whitaker and I believe James McAvoy. Although I'm not too familiar with this director's work, I do know a little about the film itself. I know that it has nothing to do with the country of Scotland, despite its name. It's about one of Uganda's most brutal dictators, Idi Amin. It's a name I've heard mentioned often next to other dictators. This isn't a movie that was nominated by any of my patrons or from the YouTube comments. It's just a film that I wanted to watch and review on the channel. I do know that this movie was the one that won Whitaker's Oscar for Best Actor, and I have to assume it'll be hard to watch when it comes to atrocities or other horrible things. But then again, I also recognize it is a part of human nature. I guess I want to try and understand the internal workings of a dictator, a mind like that, what goes through their heads, or how they even justify their actions. I'm going at it from a character study point of view, and we all know that Whitaker is a fantastic actor. I also realize that it's likely to be fictionalized, the story I mean, but the broad strokes should hold true. Alright, but before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 200 movies. 200! 2 TV shows, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. The link's in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, feel free to dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The Last King of Scotland, MacDonald, Whitaker, McAvoy. Let's go. This film is inspired by real people and events. Okay. Looks like we're at an university graduation.
Not quite as good a degree as mine, but a fine one.
I mean, dads, right?
Being a family doctor. Well, let me tell you, Nicholas, you've chosen a fine life.
I'm guessing Nicholas will end up in Uganda somehow. Yeah, I don't think he looks too happy. Is that why he ends up going to Uganda? I think so. James McAvoy can do anger so well.
Okay, first place you land. You go.
He's looking for adventure. Uganda. That's how he chooses the country. Oh, okay. It's a UK production, not an American film. Interesting. I didn't know that. Oh, I like this music. It sounds so communal. I wish I knew more about the history of Uganda. Kerry Washington. Oh, wow, okay. And Gillian Anderson.
This is my stuff.
Oh man, okay. Looks like he's already enjoying his time with the locals. Oh man, I really need to download this song or at least add it to my Spotify playlist. And I wonder where this movie was shot.
We were getting a little worried about you. Thought you might have got caught up in the coup.
Dude, you can hear the cries in the background. And I think reality hit him. It's not some vacation. I also like the filmmaking aspect where they showed people smiling and laughing a couple of minutes earlier, and now it's just sadness and sick people.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how many doctors are there here?
Well, there's me, and now there's you. 80% of the locals still prefer the witch doctor to us.
Education, that's what changes outdated beliefs.
Ready?
Looks like the kids are getting vaccinated.
One more? Okay.
I have to say, the music, that's already won me over. It's excellent.
You seem an unlikely candidate for this kind of work.
Why, because I don't wear socks and sandals.
Yeah, he's gonna get a reality check soon enough, I bet.
Hey, Barney, why are the women singing?
You don't know? The president is coming to the village.
Idi Amin is coming to the village.
Thought you might be slightly curious to see the new boss.
I don't work for Armin.
She doesn't care who's in charge. Wow. As with so many other dictators, when they first come into power, They have the support of the people. Another film I have yet to watch is Hotel Rwanda. If that's worth watching on the channel, do let me know. And here we are, Forrest Whitaker's Idi Amin.
This will be a government of action, not of words.
I think he means it literally.
I am a simple man, like you. Together, we will make this country better.
In hindsight, we know that it's all lies, but if you were here among the crowd, I wouldn't blame you if you believed him. And it looks like McAvoy's character is buying into it too.
They sang just like that for a boating.
Exactly, he knows.
Come on, give the man a chance.
I'm serious.
What's the problem?
Oh, they're looking for a doctor. Shiragani!
I hear you have a problem with your hand. I'd like to examine it.
Huh. I mean, it's not like the cow can do anything. What was that, my man?
Who are you?
Nicholas, I'm Dr. Nicholas.
You are British.
Well, I'm Scottish.
Scottish?
Yeah.
He likes the Scottish.
If I could be anything instead of a Ugandan, I would be a Scot.
Is that why the movie is called The Last King of Scotland?
Could you let me have this t-shirt? Maybe you will take my shirt in exchange. You see? Now you are a general, like me.
That's an interesting statement, right? Just because you wear the uniform doesn't make you a general now, does it? So far, the production of the movie has been very authentic looking. I'm pretty convinced that they're shooting it on location.
I still can't believe how you shot that cow. Oh, God.
She's married, my man.
My husband is a good man.
Good for her.
Christ, that sounds ridiculous. Oh, I can't.
Sarah,
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Good morning, Dr. Garrigan.
That dude looks like a proper African politician.
All right, I'm back as soon as I can. He probably just wants me to retie his bandages. Okay.
Okay, we're in the big city now.
Good to see you again, Dr. Garrigan.
You too.
What do you say, Nicholas? Will you take the job?
What job?
I really do have a commitment to the mission in Magambo, and I'd be letting them down horribly. You see?
He doesn't like hearing no.
It's the woman! It's the woman!
Not that simple. It's quite complicated, actually.
Why?
She's married.
Is she married?
And it's not like he's even denying that he's attracted to her.
You are very naughty.
Me?
Married woman. They are always the most passionate, huh?
What a blanket statement.
Yes. Tonight we are having a state dinner. Please, would you join us there?
I'd very much like that, thank you.
They're communists, you know. My dear, Armin's more than a match for them, his ex-British army.
Yes, he's a little unpredictable, but he's got a firm hand.
Yours too, pal.
Bloody English.
I don't know whether I share those exact sentiments, but I can relate a little.
Nicholas! I'm so happy you came.
So am I.
Here is where the Greeks stole their philosophy.
He's a very good speaker and orator.
Just like all you people thought would never be possible.
They are poisoned me. They are trying to assassinate me.
Nicholas.
What a bedroom.
Okay, I think I know what this is.
It's just gas.
But a man who shows fear, he is weak.
Well, if you're afraid of dying, shows you have a life worth keeping.
That was a quick comeback.
My father, he left me when I was a child. The British Army, it became my home. They used to beat me. Good night, Nicholas.
Good night, sir.
I have a feeling he'll decide to stay back.
David will be disappointed.
Oh, well, no. I'll write to David, of course I will.
This is one of our new medical wards.
certainly an upgrade from where he was previously working.
I just wanted to say that if there's anything we can possibly help you with, please don't hesitate.
Exactly. Are the British trying to kind of recruit him for information? Because that's what it seems. And now he's partying with the president. I won! Of course you won. You jumped 5 seconds before everybody else. Again, the music, man, is excellent.
I love it. Look what Nicholas has designed for me. You have a wonderful eye.
I think he's setting up a rivalry between these two men. Explosion.
Much in their prison, where robotics people are being held.
Please, come quickly! The president's son is sick!
Your son's epileptic?
I don't know.
What? The child has to go to hospital.
Please!
I think the president doesn't want his epileptic child to be taken to a hospital because he'll be seen as weak.
Since I had Mackenzie, my husband prefers us to be somewhere more private.
Exactly. He's ashamed of his own son.
The president does visit you here?
He visits the children. I'm a bad omen.
He sees her as cursed because she didn't give him a healthy child. How messed up is that? Dude is dressed up in a kilt. He must really admire Scotland. Don't look at her. I've got a bad feeling about this.
No doctor should be without his ambulance.
Oh, a small gift?
Hiding him away like that, it's ruining his life.
That boy has everything he wants.
Oh, it's an ambush. Oh, man. They got the wrong car.
It is in my dream. They cannot kill me.
There's that delusion again. He's convinced he knows when he dies.
You will take care of me and in this country. Yes, sir. Where is he?
I don't know.
And you call yourself my closest advisor.
He never did. You call him that. Oh, we're going to see some horrible execution, aren't we? I don't know how much of this story is fictionalized, but again, I'm guessing large parts of it is true.
I will not die until I
like
say.
The filmmaking choice here, showing his hands bloody. It works on both levels, physical and metaphorical.
You want to kill me for that drunk, silly man? Uganda loves me.
What a performance. How's your adventure going, man? Are you enjoying yourself? I'm really enjoying this film so far.
Feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues.
Is he betraying Idi Amin?
Good enough for me and my book.
Last night, I went to the Holiday Inn and I had a drink. And I saw Jonah Waswa there, speaking to some white guy in the bar.
Oh, he still thinks he's doing the right thing.
I need someone to
Yeah, the way he's looking at her and even she's looking at him. You don't mess with a dictator's wife, dude.
He's a High Court judge who recently ruled against Amin. He's gone missing. Hasn't been seen for 5 days.
No, look, if you're going to accuse the president of something, you just come out and say it, all right?
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm here to see the health minister.
Looks like the position's already been replaced.
I should know. I set up the meeting with his South African counterpart at the Holiday Inn.
Oh, so it was just an innocent meeting?
I've come to say goodbye. I'm going home.
Goodbye. It's not that easy to leave. The way he just closed the door, he has no intentions of letting him leave.
It's this business with Waswa.
The little things like the twitch in Whitaker's eyes really sell his performance.
You are like my own son.
And I'm from Scotland. That's my home. I want to
Your home is here.
Jeez.
Please.
Uganda.
What a menacing and powerful performance.
Dr. Garrigan.
It's Kay again.
Fuck it.
No! I was about to say don't do it, but he already did before I could say anything. This is going to have some serious consequences, I bet.
He has always been like this. He just chose not to show you until now.
We saw the look on her face at the beginning when we first met her.
Go, 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 go!
And his house has been broken into. A Ugandan passport? That means they took his real passport away? If I were in his place, I'd be crapping my pants by now.
They've taken my passport.
In the countryside, they're not even bothering to dig graves anymore. They're simply feeding them to the crocodiles. Your friend, the health minister.
Dude, get your arms off of her. One picture like this and both of you will be dead on the spot.
British government has broken its promises to Uganda. They have 90 days to leave.
All the Asians? Alright, there's a significant Indian population, right?
You expel the Asians now, this economy will be on its knees. Not to mention the damage you'll do to your reputation abroad.
You are nothing but a doctor.
Now he's nothing but a doctor. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was his closest advisor.
Get out.
Finally getting to see Sarah again.
He will kill me, Nicholas. I have to get it out.
Is she pregnant? With his child?
Please promise me you'll stay in the house.
No. We couldn't do that here, not at Mulago.
Why not?
It's the president's hospital. The American newspapers say I am a cannibal.
Yep, he's full-blown crazy now. He's not even trying to hide it anymore.
You should have told me not to throw the Asians out in the first place.
He did.
I did.
Don't throw the journalists out. They're only going to write more lies about you. You show them what kind of a man you are.
That is a dangerous game.
What would I do without my Nicholas, eh?
Again with the my Nicholas.
She went to the village. They had to take her to hospital.
It's been reported that you crowned yourself the last king of Scotland.
That's where the movie got its name from. What the fudge? Okay, that was officially one of the most effed up things I've seen in a movie. Period. Cut her arms off and attached them to her legs.
I made an example of her because she betrayed me.
Brought you those headache pills that you asked for.
I don't think he can even address it. And now I'm suspicious of those pills. And I'm beginning to feel like, yep, they're suspecting him.
An Air France aeroplane has been hijacked by our Palestinian brothers.
Wait, I think this is a real event. I don't know too much details about the actual hijacking, but I went on a Wikipedia reading spree a couple of years ago, and I do remember that this is a true event. Yep, I do remember reading about this. They're mostly Jewish. Dude, they are poison. Holy crap, he's caught. Now we get to meet the real Idi Amin.
I know about you and Kay.
Oh, he knew all along. Dude, they're actually getting hooks. For real. I don't know where the story is going from here. I don't think he's dead yet, because he said it takes like 3 days. Which is insane. What an incredible performance from Whitaker.
All non-Israeli hostages will be released.
They have sent a plane. They are releasing some of the hostages.
Go home. Tell the world the truth about Amin.
I have to know whether Nicholas was based on a real character or a real person or not. Oh man, he's on the plane already. Oh man, he's going to die now. Oh, no judge, no jury, just execution. The plane took off. He's finally leaving. There isn't much you can do now. 48 hours later, Israeli forces stormed the Tempe and liberated all but one of the hostages. International, yeah, that's to be expected. When it was finally overthrown in 79, jubilant crowds poured onto the streets. His regime had killed more than 300,000 Ugandans. Jeez. And that's the real Idi Amin. I mean, I have seen his face before, but I don't think I've ever seen him in motion. And he actually dressed his army up as Scottish military. Nobody knows if it was the date he had dreamed about. But I think this shot of Idi Amin just looking up and down the camera, that was an unscripted moment. And that's really telling. And it's based on a book. Okay. That was quite the film. Very powerful. This is the part where I say thank you for the recommendation. But I chose this movie myself, guys. And I really enjoyed it as a film, but it was horrible to watch. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a powerful film. It was eye-opening, and even though I suspect that a lot of it was fictionalized, it was hard to watch. The third act in particular. I'd consider the strengths of the film to be the performances, especially from Forest Whitaker and James McAvoy, the beautiful score and soundtrack, the actual storytelling, and the almost unexplainable feeling of authenticity, which I'll credit to the production team because it did look like a lot of it, if not all of it, was shot on location. The main weaknesses I noticed were the pacing of the first act, but more importantly, it felt like the filmmakers kind of forgot about the subplot of the movie. One of the subplots, the character of Sarah, played by Gillian Anderson, was introduced at the beginning of the movie, and we don't know what happened to her. She wasn't, if she wasn't an important part of the movie, she should have been left out the whole part. But if she was, I felt like more scenes were needed to justify her appearance in the film, if that makes any sense. Another thing is, I wish I saw more of Amin. I mean, I get it. The film was from Nicholas's perspective, but I would have liked to see more of Amin, just because Whitaker was amazing as Amin, and he was easily the most interesting part of the movie. Anyways, let's start with the directing by Kevin McDonald and the script by Jeremy Brock and Peter Morgan. It seems like the movie was based on a book of the same name, and as I haven't read the source material, I can't really comment on how much of it was fictionalized, how well it was adapted for screen, but I'm guessing major events in the movie, like that plane hijacking, they did happen in real life. I write my reviews without reading the Wikipedia page. That helps in keeping outside biases in check, but rest assured I will be reading a lot after finishing this video. I don't think I have too much to say about the actual story itself. It was pretty straightforward. Nicholas, a recent medical graduate, wants adventure and ends up in Uganda as the personal physician of the new president, Idi Amin. Things go south from there, and that's putting it mildly. I love the character development of the leads here, both Nicholas's and Amin's. Nicholas starts off as an idealist, naive young man who believes he can actually help in changing the world for the better, and ends up almost a cynic and a realist by the end. Whereas Amin starts off as a great orator, a speaker who inspires and appears to be quite charismatic as he takes charge of his country. But by the end, that dude goes 11 out of 10 crazy. There are no two ways about it. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the stuff about him declaring himself as the last king of Scotland to be real, to be true. I mean, he became delusional and paranoid like a lot of his contemporaries. That's what happens to dictators, right? You become paranoid, you try consolidating power even more by eliminating your opposition. One thing I wanted to learn or at least get a glimpse of, was to see the internal workings of a man like that. And it was enlightening to get a glimpse in Forrest Whitaker's performance. He really knocked it out of the park as Idi Amin, and I do think his Oscar was well worth it. It was well deserved. From his intimidating stance, he was huge and powerful, to his unhinged laugh, to subtle twitches on his face, to his delusions and paranoia. I thought Whitaker was amazing in his role here, and at times horrifying to watch. It was quite real, and again, halfway through the film, I completely forgot it was Whitaker behind all that. James McAvoy was also excellent in his role opposite to him. His character transformation was probably the most evident, and even though I did blame him for a lot of his actions in the film, I mean, he did cause, directly or indirectly, he did cause the death of at least 3 people on screen: Kay, the previous health minister, and Dr. Junju. I genuinely felt bad for his character by the end. This was a good example of a good man, a normal man who got more than he bargained for, who bought into the propaganda first before discovering the truth. The scenes after he discovered that he was stuck in Uganda for good, especially after he got his new passport, that made me feel claustrophobic, like I couldn't get out of, I don't know, man. When your personal freedoms are taken away, I don't have anything to compare that to. That's a fundamental human right. And if I feel bad about Nicholas here, I can only imagine if I give more thought to the average person in Uganda. It's horrible. And that's why I don't really want to talk about some of the atrocities that I saw in the movie. I don't even think most of them can be shown on YouTube, but 2 scenes in particular, they were nightmare fuel for me. I'll have a hard time getting them out of my head. The first one was obviously what happened to Kay. It was disgusting, and even if I rewatch the film, I'll probably have to fast forward through that scene. And the other one was the hanging by the skin part, which was also very disturbing to watch. A special mention goes out to Dr. Junju, played by David Oyelowo, please correct me if my pronunciation is wrong, who was genuinely a good man who ended up sacrificing himself for the greater good. The score and soundtrack of the film was excellent, one of the highlights easily, especially the song played at the beginning. That's still playing in my head, I'll have to look that up. The other song choices were also memorable and mostly appropriate. I also have to commend the entire production team for making the movie look and feel real. Everything looked period appropriate and realistic, especially the locations, which didn't look like they were sets at all. And that's a huge compliment, because a lot of it looked like it was straight out of a documentary. Finally, let's talk about my main criticism of the movie, which was the forgotten subplot involving Sarah. Like I said before, the first 20 or 30 minutes, the first act, introduced her to the audience. We do spend quite some time with her character before the filmmakers kind of forget about her. We do see a glimpse of her near the end, but that almost felt like an afterthought. Her character's story felt unresolved and forgotten. This could have been fixed in 2 ways. Either they could have increased her screen time and showed more of her, or they could have eliminated that entire storyline and made it a much shorter film. I don't think either way would have made a huge difference though. Anyways, overall, The Last King of Scotland was a reality check. It was about a man and a dictator. I was mostly riveted through the runtime, and I did feel like I got a glimpse of real crazy, real evil. Forrest Whitaker's career-defining performance really lived up to the hype, and James McAvoy's his performance, it wasn't far off either. Apart from the subplot issue which I mentioned, this was a fantastic film which explores the mind of a paranoid, morally weak, disturbed, but also a charismatic person. I wish that it wasn't a real person. I wish things like that didn't happen in real life, but they did, and here we are. Even though parts of the film are fictionalized, I still think it's an important movie that should be watched by as many people as possible. It was highly informative and I highly recommend it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.